Could the Vikings trade Mattison? All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and in this episode, we're talking Alexander Mattison, why they should trade him, why they shouldn't trade him, who might want him, and what we might get for him. Let's do this.
Why they could trade him, and speaking of could, I could go for an AC Cold Lift Bridge right about now, which happens to be the sponsor of this video, Lift Bridge Brewing Company. Check them out. Either go to the headquarters, go to the brewery in Stillwater, and drink yourself silly, or find their delicious beers in a local liquor store near you.
You can drink them warm, you can drink them cold, you can drink them lukewarm. They're still absolutely delicious. Snap it up and let us know in the comments what your favorite Lift Bridge beer is for sure.
Hell yes. All right, let's talk Alexander Mattison. And this is something we've already alluded to plenty of times in past videos. Alexander Mattison, looking for a guy who could be traded, who might have some value. He's definitely one of the few guys on this roster who is a potential trade candidate who could bring a decent return.
Yes, so let's do it. So let's start off with why. Why the hell would the Vikings trade their backup running back who has proven he can come in and carry the load?
Well, I think why is because what they also already have on this depth chart, Kenny Ngwangu, who showed flashes definitely as a returner. He did have some nice runs. I don't like the way he was used. A lot of delayed handoffs last year. I want to see him out in space, what he can do. So he's definitely a reason. And then Ty Chandler, the rookie they drafted, was he 5th, 6th round last year, a guy who's also an explosive player. So you have these two guys here who could potentially be your number two. One of them has to step up in camp to make this actually a possibility, though.
Yeah, and he's a free agent next year. I mean, he's running backs aren't making the money they used to make, but he's going to make some money. Some team is going to look at him and see him as a more valuable piece than what the Vikings are using, especially with our depth chart. So why shouldn't they? Why should they not say, Alexander, you're staying right here. You're staying put.
Yeah, before we get there's another why before I want to touch on this. A need has to be created. Someone has to go down on another team. Their starter, they don't like their backup. You look at Seattle, does.
Whoa, we're not talking who yet. Easy.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying the need has to arise. The need has to arise for a team to have that injury late in training camp. Like happened to the Vikings last year with Irv Smith Jr. The need has to be there as well. All right. So what were you asking me?
Why shouldn't they?
Well, why shouldn't they? It's because of the history of Dalvin Cook. This guy cannot stay healthy. He's always missing games. Sometimes he misses stretches of games 2-3 at a time, or he does come back. He's not quite the same Dalvin Cook we saw when he's healthy. Alexander Mattison has proven he can carry the load. He can be that workhorse back. He can handle 20 touches a game. He can catch the football as well, so he gives you a bit of that dual role as well. So I think that's another big reason why it would be as if Dalvin Cook, because of his history.
Yeah, I mean, Mattison has proven he can carry the load. And like you said, he can catch the ball. He can do anything. We got Ty Chandler, we got Nwangu, we got some other guys back there that get us excited, but they really haven't proven anything. They're an unproven commodity. So having Mattison there, even though he's a free agent next year, even though it just gives you the warm and fuzzies.
He does. He makes you feel much, much more secure in Dalvin Cook and his health issues.
Feel the heat. All right. Who would want this man back there saying, damn it, give me 1,000 yards?
Well, I already mentioned Seattle comes to mind. Chris Carson just retired. You got Rashad Penny. Who knows what his weight's going to look like
Kenneth
this
Walker.
preseason. They have Kenneth Walker. If one of those two goes down, they might be a team that is calling. And I think any team really, if they have that injury to the starter, don't have the depth. And the Vikings are really rich at running back right now. Not a lot of teams can say they have the depth chart the Vikings do. So Seattle's the one that comes immediately to mind that could have that need. I'm sure there's a few others, but that's one that jumps out at me.
Seattle, Arizona, Baltimore. And it doesn't have to be just a number one. I mean, it could just be a guy that he's splitting carries with. Because when Cook's healthy, it's not like Madison's getting the ball 10 times a game. So, a lot of teams, big thing would be injury like Chris Carson. So here's the big question. What the hell would the Vikings get for this man?
I keep coming back to a 4th-round draft pick. I don't know why. That's the number that's in my head. It's the number I can't get rid of. You would hope it'd be a little higher, especially look at what Vikings gave a 4th-rounder to get Chris Turden last year. Horrible acquisition, not worth the price they paid to get him. 4th-round pick, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think you are dreaming. You're dreaming. You got to realize the Vikings gave up a 4th-round pick for Chris Herndon. No other team in the world would have probably even given up any pick for Chris
It's
Herndon.
not saying their Vikings were desperate. It's not saying their team will be desperate and look to. I mean, I think a 4th-round pick is you're going to get probably that back if he just goes to free agency next year anyway.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if they were going to trade him, I mean, you're bringing up a good point as far as that. But I don't think anyone's given up more than a 5th or 6th rounder. You look at the past, Sony Michel, a 6th-round pick, first rounder who's proven the same thing. Mark Ingram, 7th-round pick. So who knows? I mean, the fact that he's a free agent does not help his trade value either next year. But anything is possible. I would love a
It
first.
depends. Well, I mean, if the team thinks they're going to be a contender, they may go a little bit higher if this is the piece they need to be competitive, to stay in the hunt. So they might be willing to overspend for Mattison. But if you're getting anything less than a 5th, I'm hanging on to him.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point on why they shouldn't trade him as well, as the Vikings have proven that they are all in this year. So why give up a proven big-time depth piece right there? So, I mean, overall, what do you think the chances are the Vikings actually move Mattison?
I'm going to go 30%.
30%. I'm going 14%. 14% chance.
Well, there's one more thing we never did talk about, and that's the CJ Ham factor. Because if you do move Mattison, you don't have that short yardage goal line back anymore, the pounder, and that could be CJ Ham's role.
They used to call me.
Yeah, into your own hand. So you could use him in that role as the goal line back. You got CJ Ham, and then that creates more of a reason to keep him because what he brings on special teams is huge. So I think there is a CJ Ham factor involved in this too.
CJ Ham factor. Always a CJ Ham factor in every roster move for sure. One thing is for sure, they can't keep all these running backs. They have to get rid of somebody. So we will see what happens. Alexander Mattison, I hope you are still a Minnesota Viking. I don't want a 5th-round pick. I want you on this team.
Yeah, I want to enjoy one more full year of Alexander Mattison. Get my Mattison fill.
Let us know in the comments. You want Mattison to stay? You want a draft pick? What are you thinking?
Let us know what you think about this. An adult giraffe can crush a lion's skull with a single kick.